Oh, it's not mold, is it? Mmm. Yummy yum. We got some just egg going off over there. And I had a few pieces of bread left and then this weird little end. I'm gonna make some avocado just egg toast. I'm also completely convinced that a cute mug makes your breakfast coffee 10 times better. I have never filmed. This is like my big fancy camera. I bought this probably like a year and a half ago and I spent a pretty penny on it. And I feel like it's not that I don't love it. I just feel like a big camera is not necessary for like day-to-day content. There was a huge shift at that time in my life to filming a lot of my stuff on like an iPhone. The odd time on like my vlog camera if I'm doing like a YouTube video like this. But my big fancy camera only gets used on special occasions if I'm like, I don't know, shooting like a big campaign, some like really intense and like proper makeup tutorial. So all that to say, this amazing tool that I have never gets used, or not never, but not as much as I should. It was actually a little bit of happenstance why I'm even filming on this right now. I am really going off the vibes these days. It's been in the back of my mind the last few weeks. I'm like, I just want to do like a little check-in and make a little video. And I woke up today feeling like I was hit by a truck. I haven't even brushed my hair. And I was also reviewing this article, this interview that I did. And at the same time, and I was like, I've been wanting to film this video. The whole article that I did was about like self-care, empowerment, like beauty standards, especially that women have to face and all that stuff. And I think it obviously is a topic that's really important to me. And obviously being a makeup artist and in the beauty space and sharing content online, it's something that I'm very aware of and want to make sure that I take up space in a very mindful way. And I'm very conscious. Oh no, this word always gets me. Conscientious and my conscious. I'm very conscious of the potential impacts of what I do. Does that make sense? Long story long. Fast forward, Jaclyn gets the point. I was like, I just need to film a YouTube video today. And I was like, oh, I just feel like a mess. I was gonna go brush my hair. And I was like, no, the whole point of this article is I was saying that I think it's important to share a balance of like my makeup art and like the finished and the glam and the highlights. And then you see me on here like this. And I'm like, this is me. So, hey. Oh, I didn't even get to the other point of the story. So I've got like 5 subplots going on in my brain right now. All that to say, I pulled out my little vlog camera. Vlog camera's dead. What wasn't dead? This big fancy camera. So it has a very, not as like wide of a lens. So I feel like I'm like, gotta get in frame. It's also not on a tripod and it's very heavy. I'm probably actually gonna switch to my littler camera. It's just charging though. So it's gonna start off in 4K, beautiful lens. Let me show you. Actually, maybe let me make my food and then I'll do some pretty shots and show you how epic this camera is. Sounds like I'm doing an ad for this. This isn't an ad, I think this is a great camera. A morning coffee. I went to the Nespresso store and I like never really know what I'm doing. I like enjoy a coffee, but I'm not like a coffee connoisseur by any means. So I was chatting to the lady there and I was just like picking out different things on the menu. So I tried a new one today. I think it was supposed to be like a fruitier one. El Salvador Virtue. Does that mean anything to you? Oh my god. Actually, I'm gonna show you all my little pods that I have right now, and I want you to tell me which ones you like and what I'm supposed to do with them. Look at this gorgeous zoom. Oh my god. I hope this isn't super shaky. I feel like maybe it is a little bit. Stabilize, Jaclyn, stabilize. I've had some of these before. Some of them I haven't. So far, loving it. I'm gonna need to get a way more heavy duty tripod because my little baby tripod is not going to work. You know what? I might have to replate this. I'm getting overwhelmed. Little bread, avocado. Oh no, is this not ripe enough? Rats, you can't want them all. So avocado is giving a little crunch. Oh, should I put the egg underneath? That probably would have looked better. A little bit of kimchi. I actually prefer the kale kimchi. I feel like this is more like vinegary and watery. Flaky sea salt. And then fancy ingredient time, alfalfa sprouts. How fun are sprouts? Look at that. Look at those gorgeous sprouts. Okay, okay. Let's eat it up. You know what? I think I'm gonna put you on top of my Vitamix. If this camera falls off, I am gonna really hate myself for a second. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, okay, this is giving janky. Also, sorry, these Wi-Fi extending pods, killing the vibe in here, for sure. It's feeling like fall. It is feeling like fall, all right. It was the first time, like, since summer, since even moving into this place, that I had to to take off the AC, like properly. I was like, it might be time for heat because it's been dropping. I mean, not like below freezing or anything, but it's been getting cold at night. So I even woke up this morning and I was like, oh, it's so chilly in my house. It has been a crazy past month. I'm like, when's the last time I even made a YouTube video and talked to you guys? Midsummer maybe? So much has happened. I went to Montreal for Osheaga, had a super crazy fun, a busy time there. Then went to Miami with all my friends on like an actual like leisure vacation, not like a work trip, which is kind of like, I mean, it's a weird thing. Like I have so much fun on my work trips, but it was nice to do like a proper friend trip. Then we just had TIFF here in Toronto, which that's always a crazy time. I actually like walked a red carpet for a movie. It was for the new movie, Dumb Money. I am not in any way affiliated with the movie. I'm not even in the movie. I'm not related to the movie. But a lot of the celebrities and like actors in the movie and the writers could not come to TIFF, which here in the city, the Toronto International Film Festival is like, oh, I need my hot sauce if I'm gonna eat this. A little avocado, jalapeno, hot sauce dressing. But yeah, in Toronto, like the Toronto International Film Festival is, I mean, not only a big deal to the city, but it's an international film festival. Like it is quite a big deal. And it kind of, you know, the city comes alive. And for me, that's always kind of like this signifier, is that a word? That's always like the transition into fall for me. Okay, these look absolutely fire. Let's do a quick bite. I will say the problem with open-faced toast is then you get to this moment and you go, it might be falling apart right about here. Delicious. Long story long, since there's that SAG and like writer strike going on right now, they all can't attend their premieres and their movies, which is like sucks obviously for them. So sometimes I work with production companies and the distributors, and you know, I'll host and do interviews and red carpets and stuff. So I had some very nice partners who invited me to walk the carpet, which was hilarious because again, not affiliated, but it was a fun time. I feel like I post all my little day-to-day and like those little moments more on my Instagram and TikTok. So if you've been missing me here on YouTube, go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I post there every day. It's funny, I feel like the landscape of YouTube is changing so much, and even, oh my god, oh my god, my life just flashed before my eyes. Oh, that was exactly, I mean, a good thing it didn't actually fall. Okay, Jaclyn, that was stupid. Stay here, I'll be back. Oh, like upside down of a bowl? That's not a bad idea. At least a bit more steady. I'm gonna really have to crouch down. This is a really crazy view. I don't even know what I was talking about. Walking the red carpet, okay, whatever. Oh, TikTok, Instagram, that's where I'm posting every day. Oh, the landscape of YouTube is changing, okay. I feel like ever since I was like 16 and started posting YouTube videos, it was very easy for me to just be like, I'm going to make the videos that I would want to watch. And that's kind of been a lot of the time the strategy of it all. Like, not that there's a strategy, but you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like in so many ways, a lot of the people that watch my videos are either of similar age, similar phases of life, or similar interests, because that's what like makes sense. I always say whenever I meet someone who's like, oh my gosh, I've been watching your YouTube videos, or I watch your content, whatever, I'm always like, oh, we would be friends in real life. Like, it's just, there is like an immediate connection. Also, because of that, I feel like it's always been very intuitive for me to be like, oh, this is what I feel like making. This is what is interesting to me at this time. This is my new hobby. This is what I want to create, because I know the audience watching, it's someone like me, you know what I mean? All that being said, I feel like my habits around YouTube have changed, not like so much so. I've never been like a massive movie and TV watcher, and not to be like, I don't have screen time, I don't watch TV. It's more like all of my time is spent on social media and YouTube and consuming content there. I will watch YouTube for hours, that's how I've always been. But I feel like I'm kind of in this weird loop where on YouTube there's not a lot of specific creators I like to follow or watch their videos. It's more like video podcasts, and I'll just keep those playing for like 2 hours as I'm like, you know, cleaning the house or whatever, or like playing that in the background. So it's kind of made me reflect and be like, okay, well, like, should I just be doing that? Like a 2-hour kind of like unedited, just stream of consciousness, or just like chatting about topics as I'm getting ready, or like, we're not even getting ready, just like sitting there and talking, and I'm like, I don't know. So I'm curious, one, for your feedback, but two, what makes the most sense? But then in the same sense, you guys are like, I just like seeing you eat food and talk and vlog your day. And then I'm like, but like, is that what I should be doing? I don't know. Today I felt like doing it, so I'm going with the vibes. This is an insane, if you could see my body hunch position from the side right now to get this in frame, insane. But the reason I feel like I was hit by a truck, circling back to that, I was out at the Hozier concert last night. I feel like everyone says Hozier a little differently, and I'm starting to question if I'm saying it right. Anyways, I went to his concert last night, which was super fun. He sounded amazing. And then 2 days before that, I went to the Noah Kahan concert, which I feel like every year I pick a new album, and that is the only album I listen to for like a full year, and that becomes the soundtrack to that year of my life. And this year it has been Noah Kahan's album, Stick Season and the Deluxe Edition. I love his music. It's playing every day in my head, out loud on my speakers. I'm just obsessed. And I feel like I hadn't been that excited for a concert in a really long time. I had a big group of my friends go. We all like had the most amazing night. I was actually sobbing at one song. Didn't realize, I remember what it felt like to be like 14 again and crying at a concert. But it was really fun. I had like the best time. My voice is still recovering. I think I set it back a little bit by singing last night at the Hozier concert, but it has just been such fun, like late nights and like wholesome nights though, that just really have been making my heart happy, you know? But in a way too, both of those concerts were at Budweiser Stage here in Toronto. And for people that don't live in Toronto, it's like an outdoor like amphitheater. I'm having an impediment today, that's for sure. Feels like I'm 6 years old again. Anyways, it's this outdoor venue which is only open in the summer. So I feel like those were the perfect bookend to summer, because I'm like, that is like the end of summer concerts now. So it's fall, baby, new season. Fall is also the best season. I've always been a fall girly. This interview that I was doing for this article specifically was themed around like, yeah, self-care, self-love. They originally were kind of asking me, because they know I do a lot of like wellness videos or self-care videos or like facial series and things like that. But also, I mean, I think like I would hope like the general message that I try to convey through just even like my day-to-day existence is like, yeah, leading with positivity and all of those things, right? Anyways, I kind of thought this was gonna be more topical in a way, which I'm actually glad that it wasn't. Literally some of the questions were like, yeah, like how should women deal with the heavy and negative influential societal pressures of unrealistic beauty standards, and how can we change that? And I'm like, whoa, like we're going there, which was good. I mean, I like talking about that stuff. Whoa. What was that? Am I getting sick? No. Anyways, all that being said though, like when it's topics that I care about, I want obviously to be intentional. So it ended up being like a really fun interview. But yeah, like it got heavy, man. And it did make me like think a lot about what I'm doing here, whether it be on social or on the bigger scale of my life. I feel like I've talked about this. Maybe I talked about this in another YouTube video, or maybe it was a TikTok, I forget. But I'm 25, like I've been 25 this year. I turned 26 in December. But something about 25 honestly has been a very like transformative year. I feel like maybe mentally. I don't know if it's what they say, like that prefrontal cortex is finally developed. Like I think I've been feeling it get fully formed. I also think coupled with moving into this place was kind of like a big moment for me. And I just feel like every year when there's like other birthdays or years, it doesn't feel different, but this year has felt different and in a good way. I can't even fully put words onto it. I'm just so aware of all of these different life moments and like phases, and it all just feels a little different, and not in a good or bad way. And I think also too, the timing of it also kind of coincides with, I mean, in December, oh my God, I didn't even think about this really. In December, it'll be 10 years of putting my life online, filming content, 10 years since I posted my first YouTube video. So I think it is weirdly just the way it's all lined up, all these big life moments and timelines and age, and it all kind of has, I don't know, felt like a big like chapter. So it's been making me like reflect a lot, and it makes me excited to look forward. Like every day I'm like, I love that I have no idea what my life will be in a year, let alone 5 years. Like that's the excitement and curiosity of life that just really just keeps me going, and like it's just so exciting to me, you know? I posted my first YouTube video. Oh, I got my numbers wrong. No, this December would be 9 years on YouTube, because this year is my 10-year vegan. Yeah, okay, because that was not seeming right. Still though, 10 years of eating vegan is kind of crazy. Whoa, if I think about that time of life, it doesn't, in so many ways, and I think now I finally just understand why like adults were always like, I feel 18 always, like you don't feel like an adult ever. Because in so many ways, being like 15 and being like, I want to go vegan, and like that entire phase, and even just like I think of that era of YouTube, what I was watching at the time, and that just seems like just yesterday. But now suddenly I'm here, I'm turning 26 by the end of this year. I've lived so much life, and I've like accomplished literally a lot of the things that younger me would have died to hear about. So in some ways it feels like, oh, that scared me. That was my morning alarm in case I wanted to sleep in today. It's 9:50, understand that. Today was a slow morning. Well, it could have been a slow morning. I have 10 different stories going on at all times, and then I get distracted and cut off. Like, I'm like, people must, I don't even know what people must think. I'm just living life, you know? Like, I can't worry about it, and I don't, but it must be so funny. In some ways, I would just love to, like, not be me for a second and observe me just to, like, see what other people think. That feels like maybe that could be damaging. I mean, let's not maybe get down that rabbit hole too much. To be 26, hyper zoomed in, hunched over on a 4K camera, wiping off jalapeno hot sauce or snot while stuffing my face with alfalfa sprouts. You know, who would have thought I'd be here? I feel so lucky. Just watering all my little plants. I have like a proper watering can, but I'm telling you, the big blender jug is the way to do it. Also, in the spirit of fall, I'm gonna get some fall diffuser essential oils going. Probably, oh, I should clean that. I'm gonna clean that right now, but I'm gonna put the water in here first. I thought I'd literally just clean this with rubbing alcohol. I'm gonna go on a little morning walk just to get some steps in. I think I'm gonna work on the place a little bit. There's a part on my floor that I need to like sand and restain, which that's been on my to-do list. Ew, that's gross. So I think my dad might come over and help me out. I'm gonna do this sage chai infuser blend. I also switched to the vlog camera. Can you tell a difference? This smells so good and so fall-y. How many drops is too much? That probably was like 10. But also, I got a new rug for in here. I am so excited about it. My parents were super nice and they were letting me borrow their rug in the meantime, just because I didn't have one that fit the space right. But I just got this one in maybe about a week ago. I feel like it's very Gen Z, very me, and just really goes with the rest of the vibe. I have all the details and the exact name and the style on my Instagram. I have a highlight all about my home stuff. But I'm just so happy. So this used to be a mermaid. It was hand painted. It was so cool, but it was severely damaged and there was no way to like salvage it or even like restore it. So we had to rip her out, which was very sad. But I'm gonna try to see if I can, in the meantime, just sand this down and stain it just to kind of like blend this in. Eventually, I might do like, I don't know, like a marble moment here. I might do a different hand painted piece. Maybe a new mermaid will come in. But in the meantime, I just wanna make this a bit less of an eyesore. I don't know if you guys have ever even seen my bathroom before, but the bathroom is looking cute. There's so many plants. It just feels so me. This little tree has been thriving. Is this a tree? Plant? Whatever this thing is, it has been loving here. It really is so unfortunate that I'm not a good singer. I wish I was blessed with vocal talent. I think it would be game over if that was the case, to be honest. Like, look at all my little plants. They're so happy. You know what is so interesting? And this is feedback that I get, I would say often, especially when I'm meeting like viewers, any of you guys on the street or anything. You guys are always like, oh my God, you're so much shorter than I thought you'd be, which is the funniest feedback because I think I'm like average height. I'm 5'6", but I think maybe, I mean, everyone always says like, you know, like you always look so much taller and bigger like on camera. And I mean, I guess I kind of feel the same way. Like when I like meet, I don't know, there's like actors or celebrities or even I guess other creators, they're always so much shorter and smaller than like what you imagine. I think there's a couple different things that's interesting about this. Well, one, I think I'm like very normal height. I'm 5'6", and but it's weird. What I think is interesting is I have a lot of very short friends. I'm not kidding. A ton of my friends are like under 5'2", with some of them being like 4'11". So whenever I'm in photos next to them, I'm like, I feel like I look like the tall one, but I don't think I'm tall at all. But then what's interesting too, and I just put on like a different lens on this vlog camera, and this one's more of like a wider angle in the sense that I feel like it shows you more of the environment. So that way if I'm holding this like selfie style, it's not like cropped in like this. Because other type of lenses, this might be as like wide as they can go and I've got my hand out all the way. But this one is meant for more like selfie style videos, so that way I can be holding this with my hand and that way you see more of the environment and it's not just super tight on my face. So this is the lens that I normally use for vlogging. What is this at right now? This is like 15 to 45. It's at like 18 right now, which I think what is 20? Like regular perception of life. Anyways, I feel like this is like fairly accurate to real life, like this lens. But then the other camera that I'm shooting on, it kind of makes things look, if there's people that like know photography and like know videography and like know lenses, they're probably gonna hate my like very baby version explanation of this. But like in simplest terms to explain it, the other lenses are tighter, which makes things look wider, if that makes sense. Which is great if I'm filming a makeup tutorial and I want to really zoom in and really just showcase this eye look. That type of lens is great for that. So it's about like understanding like, yeah, what you're trying to shoot, what the goal is, things like that, whatever. But this is really interesting because this ties into this whole thing that I was talking about in this interview that I was talking about earlier. What I think is so important, and especially when it comes to like unrealistic beauty standards and things like that, is really teaching media literacy. And the more education is power, in the sense that the more you understand that, you can understand how things don't necessarily look like reality. And that's a very simple term. I don't think it's rooted in like a negative energy to disillusion. That's just like how it cameras work. But kind of expanding onto that into like face altering filters and, you know, Photoshop, Facetune, all of those things. Teaching media literacy in young people and understanding how to recognize when those things are being used, I think is really important, because then you can kind of, as the consumer, differentiate between the two. And even like myself, like I feel like I have such a good eye for this stuff now. I can tell right away on TikTok if someone's got a filter on, or like face smoothing or whatever. Although it is becoming, I think, like more and more undetectable, which is kind of scary, especially when there's like no disclosures on things or you can't see that they're using a filter. Something that I had brought up in this article is I remember being like in grade 5 and we watched this like Dove commercial from like 2006. And it kind of shows the model starting from like bare face, the whole hours of glams, the photo shoot, the whole production behind it, and then the editing, the photoshopping to getting it on the billboard. And I remember even at that age, and I was someone who grew up in the acting industry and like knew the behind the scenes of all this process. I remember that being like interesting, and that it's still relevant today, even though obviously technology is far advanced beyond that, and there's like even more scarier and, you know, the use of all this stuff is even 10 million times more prevalent than it was at that time, and our exposure to it all. But yeah, it really is just interesting. And it's funny because like I'm someone that knows better and I am aware of it, and even as someone who I would say is like feels fairly educated and well versed in that stuff, it's easy for me to even like fall victim to it still. And I feel like I'm pretty good, and again, this is like kind of the whole theme of the article. I feel like I am one of the lucky ones that I don't think I overanalyze and overthink about those things a lot of the times, but of course it does impact my perception of beauty. And anyways, I don't really know like where my train of thought was going. I think I started with the lenses and then I went on to that. The takeaway, I mean, I guess is more like the more we talk about it, there's more power in that. I think there is. Wow, I really lost my like, felt like I was gonna like give a TED talk there for a second. It escaped me. Okay, I'm gonna go on a walk now, and maybe next time you see me, my dad will be here. We'll see. Okay, I made it to my parents, and they've got fresh bread, which I can't say no to a fresh bun. Little craft PB on it, and just a little snack before I complete my walk. There's nothing like stealing food from your parents. Obsessed. Okay, walk complete. I'm feeling a little sweaty and like I need to shower. Beyond stopping at my parents' place and getting a bun, I also went home with coleslaw. Coleslaw? Oh, sauerkraut. My dad's been really on a little chef era. And he just gave me sauerkraut, which let me show you. The other day, he delivers this homemade sauerkraut. Amazing, love that. There's nothing I love more than pickled and fermented foods. And then he gives me a jar of this. I was like, oh, like I already have some. You just gave me some recently. He goes, no, this is sauerkraut. I mean, no, this is coleslaw. I'm getting confused. I'm gonna have a sample of this. This is like more sour, as the name sauerkraut would suggest. Well, is it sour or more like just salty? I feel like sometimes, now I'm getting confused again. Sauerkraut, coleslaw is sweeter, right? Actually this looks like I bet you he followed my grandma's coleslaw recipe, which is so yummy. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have a little bowl of that right now. I gotta say, I fear he slayed. Whoa, don't be so dark. Brighten up. This is what I get for letting the camera sit on auto. I am definitely hungry. Time has escaped me. I have a cinnamon bun that my mom homemade, which is sitting waiting for me, and I can't wait to eat that for my lunch. I'm doing a dinner tonight though. I'm going to a dinner tonight with actually Tatcha, like the skincare brand, and I've never met their team before, so I'm really excited. But since it is like a very skincare focused like brand, I wanted to do a no foundation makeup look. And a no foundation look is something that I feel like I've been really into lately. I feel like I've been kind of struggling with my skin. I've always kind of had issues with my skin, but I went on Accutane when I was like, you know, late teenager, and that definitely helped. Definitely made my skin so much better. But lately, I feel like the past year, I've kind of messed with it a bit too much, and I did too many facials and treatments, which I was doing as research for my TikTok series, but I feel like messed with my skin too much and just aggravated it. So I've really been trying to keep it simple. The only like active thing that I'm doing is retinol. Obviously SPF I'm wearing with that. But yeah, I feel like I did a bit over overkill of the retinol this week. I've been trying to like slowly build up, which I feel like my skin has actually really been liking, and it's been super helpful for even like my acne scars and the like hyperpigmentation that I get for it. I was just feeling really good about like easing into it. I was like using it once for 1 week and then twice for 2 weeks and then 3 times for 3 weeks. And I thought I could build up to doing it every night, but I got a bit ahead of myself. And now my skin texture is kind of, it's just like really dried out because retinol can be a bit aggressive. All that to say, when my skin is, it's kind of backwards to what you'd think. Like when my skin is looking amazing, I actually love doing a full glam. Like I love doing a full beat. But when my skin is not doing its best, I actually like to wear less makeup because I feel like it kind of draws less attention to it. Like obviously this is a makeup brush. It's not a magic wand. I can't get rid of texture. Sure, I can neutralize it and try to get rid of some of the color, but that bump is still gonna be there. So sometimes I feel like it almost makes it more noticeable to a certain degree, of course, depending on the situation. But yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like my skin's not as great right now. So I'm like, I don't wanna do a full face with like thick foundation. I wanna let the parts of my skin that are good and, you know, acne free or like hyperpigmentation free, I wanna let those areas really shine. And yeah, I feel like that'll look just, it's more the vibe I'm going for right now. I'm still deciding on the outfit tonight. I think I might do like a matching kind of blazer set. Give a little businesswoman. I haven't really perfected the lighting and the setup yet. I really miss my concrete wall that in my old condo I used to shoot on all the time. I feel like it made the color balance and the white balance like so good. I also just kind of feel like in some ways I need a bit of a like tech revamp. I'm literally shooting on 2 umbrella lights that I've had since I was 16, and I think she needs a little LED panel upgrade. I also have my beauty like ring light here, which I do really like. And I can get away with this lighting setup for like iPhone camera tutorials and videos, but for the good camera, she is not forgiving. She is shadowy. So I just had a little, I mean, not even crisis isn't the right word, but I just like sat and stared at myself in the mirror for like 5 minutes because I realized this morning I completely messed up actually the camera settings, and I flipped it to 4K, not realizing that that crops the frame in more. And because this morning I was like, I don't remember this lens ever being so tight, but that's because I was filming in 4K. So that was my own fault, and I have taken it out of 4K just like in regular kind of full HD, and now it's like the lens and the angle that I remembered. Aren't these little clips so stinking cute? They're Charlotte Tilbury. They came in a mailer. I don't even know if they have these like for sale, but I always loved little hair clips, but these ones are little squiggly ones. It's so crazy how quick makeup trends change and even how your preferences change. Like I look back to in the thick of COVID, like 2021, I guess 2020 to 2022 particularly, my makeup was just so extreme, I think is the word that I would say. Which at the time I was like, oh yeah, these eyebrows, I know I'm gonna hate these one day. And like the lip line, the overline is a bit much, but I guess it was a bit of a sign of the times and that was the trend. But I feel like I'm really just coming back to just a baseline, simple makeup, but then in the same sense that I'm probably gonna hate that I did all the faux freckles and the bronzy nose that I've been doing. But I guess that's the point of makeup. In the moment, if it seems right, then it's right. Let's go eat the cinnamon bun. I am so hungry. It is like 3:30. Time kind of escaped me, but I know what I'm having. It's kind of funny. I'm actually kind of in the mood for savory now, but I've also got like this nice dinner, so I'm like, you know what? It'll be fine. I'm gonna be having dinner soon enough. I just gotta close this blind because it is so bright out right now. I just spent the last like 15 minutes being way too obsessed with the fact that I was so silly for letting my camera record in 4K and then be cropped in even more, because it's like I literally acknowledged that at the beginning of this video and didn't like realize. But you know what, my new era is just like, I mean, I'm not honestly really an overthinker in that sense, but sometimes I do get like hyper obsessed when I've like made the wrong decision or like done something wrong, which is so silly. Like that doesn't affect anything. Also, worst case scenario, if I was really hating it that much, I could just like delete today's footage and just try again tomorrow. It also just doesn't matter. This doesn't look like necessarily amazing in the sense that it's like wrapped in soggy saran wrap, but what you need to know is my mom has been baking up a storm. She also eats vegan, which makes my life a lot easier, but she's an amazing baker and I've just been reaping the rewards. I'm pretty sure that she said she got her recipe from Nora's Cooks, which I've made some of her cakes before. Her chocolate cake recipe is like unreal, and I'm not even a chocolate cake person. I know that's really like simple and easy to do. And now she is like 2 days old at this point. You know my issue with like eating with lipstick on. I knew I was gonna come and eat right away too. Why did I do that? Oh my God. Like, I don't know if I'm just obsessed with my mom. I am. But I swear, this is better than Cinnabon. And this isn't even like the day of, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna ask my mom to send me the exact link and I'll put it in the description. And if it's not there, I forgot, and comment down below and I will do it. It was funny, I was having a conversation with an old friend not too long ago. And somehow these like what I eat in a day videos came up, and she was telling me how they've actually like helped her a ton. And I had no idea. And I was like obviously super humbled and like kind of taken aback, like in a good way. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea you even watched my videos. Like I'm so glad they've had a positive impact on you. It's funny because it's something that I think about a lot, because on YouTube I feel like what I eat in a day and recipe videos and my vlogs are what you guys always want to see, and that's been like what I've been making for a long time. And a common theme that I hear all the time, which again I'm like so grateful for, and yeah, like it definitely like means a lot and has weight, that people are like, I love your relationship with food and how you talk about it, and how, you know, like it maybe feels like a safe space, which like that seems very nice to, you know, like I can't believe people comment that about my videos. But something that I again kind of struggle with in the context of like wanting to do the right thing, when I hear a lot of these comments saying how like, I don't know, maybe they had unhealthy relationships with food and they're just trying to yeah, maybe have a more normal, whatever that means, relationship with food. Sometimes I worry that if I'm like making all of this food content and like here's what I eat every day, that it's gonna make people obsess about it, or like, I don't know, like send people into a specific kind of spiral. Again, I don't think that, like, that's not really necessarily feedback that I've ever gotten. I know it's been the opposite, but I'm like, okay, if the whole point why people are loving it and they say it's helpful and it makes them not obsess about things and it makes them have a healthy relationship, I don't want to make all these videos that are hyper focused on food that will in turn maybe do that to people. Like, is that making sense? I don't know. But then I do think like, okay, being conscious of like the language that I use and when I choose to talk about what I eat throughout the day, like I think that has more potential greater impact. I'm very aware of all these things. You know what I mean? I obviously love food and I love cooking, and like I get so much joy through that, and like there's so many like social connections and celebrations and moments, and like food to me is like, yeah, it like is a big part of my life, and in a way which is kind of funny to say, but like it is in a positive way. It's just kind of interesting to see like the evolution of it over the years and kind of like what this whole vlog series has kind of turned into. And again, almost like unintentionally, it really is crazy when I scroll and read through the comments, and especially like I feel like I get comments a lot when people are like, I'm not normally someone who comments on videos, but I just wanted to say, and that to me always hits me, because I feel like I'm kind of the same way. Like I mean, I guess like with like my friends or other content creators that like I know, I'll comment on like their videos and stuff sometimes, but I'm normally like a silent viewer when I'm like watching like video podcasts or YouTube creators. I don't normally always comment, so like that always resonates when someone says that, because I'm like, yeah, like once in a while when something really hits me and impacts me, I will say something. So whenever people say that on mine, I'm like, oh wow, it's crazy that this is your video that you're now commenting on. That was like, I don't normally comment on videos, and that's the video that's making you do that. Nothing like a little pre-dinner dessert. So yeah, really interesting. I don't even know where my dinner is tonight. I think it's like in Yorkville somewhere, but I've never heard of the place I'm going to, which is interesting. Like, look at that. So good. Okay, I thought I was done. You know when you have like your dessert after your sweet meal? This is the opposite. Now I need something a little savory after my sweet. Oh, did I just say that backwards? You know when you need something sweet after? Do you know when you need dessert? This is the opposite. Yves turkey slices. I just want a few. Okay. What I actually like to do, there's this like thick kind of like ancient grain mustard. I love doing that on these. Like a little vegan charcuterie almost. Now these are random. It looks like it's Shrub's pickles. It was at one time, but when I finished it up, I was like, I'm gonna reuse this pickle juice and pickle some carrots. So I have some, actually all unique shaped carrots. Cut them all different ways. And just have a few vinegary carrots. Oh, it's not mold, is it? They still have a nice crunch to them though, which is nice. That hit the spot. That was the savory kick that I needed. How much do I want to say? I have like a bit of an issue with like teasing certain things, because I'm like, then what if it doesn't fully happen? Like I'd rather always play it cool and like underplay things, and then there's like fun surprises when it all comes to fruition. Like I don't really like to fully say things before they happen, you know what I mean? Like under promise, over deliver. I feel like that's really the motto that I like to live by. But what I will say is there is a really fun opportunity that came my way that, again, I'm not fully sure if it's gonna happen yet, but it kind of challenges me. I'm trying not to like say specific things. This is so annoying. I hate when people do this. I think it's funny when the universe presents you with certain opportunities that you've been like wanting to do, and it's also kind of perfect timing that I've been wanting a little bit of a challenge in this certain area of my life, I guess you could say. And I feel like that's kind of what I'm working on right now, which is cool. And yeah, who knows what this will fully evolve into. It feels like the momentum is in the right direction, which is always very gratifying. I also have a really fun trip coming up soon-ish. In about a month or so, I'll be going to Europe, which I haven't been to Europe in a hot minute. I've only been like I say that like I go to Europe often. I think I've been to Europe twice in my life. I did like one Europe trip when I was like in grade 9 with my family, and we did like a couple of different countries. And then I went back to London with Lush in like 2017. Am I missing something more recent? Was the last time I was across the pond in 2017? I think that's right. Where would I have been? No, I think that's correct. We're moving. No, whoa. I'm not moving. Sorry. Let me clarify. I'm not moving to Europe. I meant more like things are moving, like things are happening. I need to definitely get dressed in my dinner outfit and put my social butterfly hat on. I'm excited. I feel like sometimes in the past, I would overbook myself and overextend myself, both in my work life and in my personal life, and really just try to fit everything in because I really do love doing all of the things. But I realized as I get older, I don't know if it's like the social battery is weakening a little bit, or if it's just that I have more peace doing less of that stuff. But I feel like I found really good balance, and I know when to say yes to things and I know when to say no to things. And in that way, I'm like 10 times more excited to do the thing in full versus kind of being there for a little bit and having to run out and go to this thing and kind of being like one foot out the door with everything. It allows me, I feel like, to be a lot more present and like absorb the moment. All that being said, I'm really excited for this dinner tonight, and I'm excited to just chat to everyone. And I think it's just so easy to get caught up in like everything that when I just really sit back and think, like, it's really so cool to have some of these dream brands that like want to sit and talk to me and tell me about their new products and innovations. And like beyond like, okay, I get objectively the world of PR and relationship building, and of course they want me to fall in love with these products, so I talk about them and use their products online in my videos, ultimately generating more sales for them. Like obviously I get that. Like from the business side of it, but also like I obviously just genuinely love makeup and skincare, and it really is just cool, a consumer perspective even, just to like learn about all these new innovations and just see what's kind of going on with all these big brands kind of before they launch and stuff, which is cool. OOTD or OOTN. Okay, let's go to dinner. Quick look at the glam. Okay, this is a way better look at it. There's actually a matching skirt that I've worn before, but I've never done the full like pant. And then just a little tiny bun. I've been wearing my hair up a ton lately, which, why do I have such long hair if it's never down? Good question. Okay, I got here just in time. I was afraid that I was gonna be lost. You know when like you're running behind and they're like, oh, and on top of it, I've never been to this location before. And it seemed a little difficult to find. They're like, go inside the building, find the movie theater, and find the private elevator to the left. I'm like, I love a little like secretive entrance, but not when I'm running late. And I was like, babe, I don't even know where the movie theater is. Long story long, we've made it here. The lighting is kind of slaying, I fear. And this looks so cute. I'm excited to see what the little menu is. Oh, it's giving vegan. I think it's time for a little mocktail? Maybe a little cocktail. I feel like I really try to choose my moment, and I feel like I just came off the busiest summer, and I'm like, it feels like maybe it should be a mocktail. There's just been so many excuses of life to like, I feel like every day there's some type of event, just a reason to have a bit of a night out. And I feel like I need to, feels like too much lately. Guys, there's a smoker involved. This just feels bougie. You got this, oh, nice, holy. Wait, this is so crazy looking. Looks like I'm like making a potion, like Halloween time. Cheers, baby. Smoky, refreshing. Okay, I'm the only one standing. I need to sit down. Okay, I'm photo boothing it up. Also the only one still standing. But the food's not out yet. I feel like it's not completely the worst thing. Whoa, that's gonna be a crazy angle. Success. Low-key, really cute photo booth. Oh my god, cute! Okay guys, I completely forgot I was filming. We've got a slaw. We've got a vegan dumpling. Okay, I've got a vegan sushi. This looks amazing. Oh, the flash was a good call. Maybe I should have done that. I'm being a bad vlogger today. It's like my dream meal. Oh, really good. Okay, we got some fried rice. I'm eating good. I'm getting my own little like portions, which is hilarious. Also, the skyline is looking so majestic. That was good with the kimchi. You rock spicy. Guys, we have a baby corn. It's the craziest thing. Look at it. We're really giving Final Feast energy right now. Like, it's like giving Dippin' Dots. Sorbet Dippin' Dots. This elevator? Can you hear that? Kind of popping in here. Yo, that was so fun. Ooh, my ears are popping. It's not only the music that's popping. Oh my goodness. It is like 11:45 right now. I had a really nice time at the dinner. It was actually a really like just great time chatting with everyone and connecting with everyone. The food was really good too. I don't know what that video footage is gonna look like of the food. I had like a fried rice that was really good. The sushi was really yummy. Oh, the slaw was really good. Anyways, it was a really delicious meal. I'd also never been to that restaurant and it is like so gorgeous. You kind of would not even know it's there. Like getting to it is a bit weird, but then once you're in there, it's super cool. It was a really fun night, but honestly, I am like struggling to keep my eyes open right now, which I am a night owl, so that is telling me something. Anyways, today was a really fun little day. I actually had a lot of fun, even just making these little videos. I feel like in so many ways, these are almost like video diaries for me. I actually kind of can't wait for the day that I'm like 85 and rewatching all these back. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you ate some delicious meals today. I think that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, do all the things.